What if you could double your commission just by changing the way you talk without having to take extra calls, without having to speak to more prospects, without doing anything different, just by changing the way you speak? Would you want to know how? Because in this video, I'm about to break down the exact 6-step framework that allowed me to collect over $4 million in cash by the age of 21 and personally make me over $400,000 in commission. This 6-step framework lets you close more deals using psychology without being pushy. Real quick, this video is for you if you're already making $3,000 to $5,000 a month in sales or some other hustle, but you want more freedom and you want more income doing sales. This framework will change the way you sell forever. Just for some context on me, and just so you guys know, this is not just some theory I'm talking about. I have personally used this framework to collect over $4 million in cash collected. You can see right here, here's one of my stats on the leaderboard where I collected $3 million for one offer. Here's another offer that I collected $850,000 for. And here's some of my cash collected days where I've collected 21.5K, 30.7K, 26.2K, 27.8K, all days where I made over $2,000 in commission using this exact framework. This is not theory. It's not just some bullshit I came up with. This actually works in the real world. And I've used it across almost every single niche you can imagine. AI, automations, trading, e-commerce, copywriting. This framework works for any single offer that you want to sell that's high ticket over the phone. Here's what you don't need to close more deals. You don't need to be a natural born salesman. I wasn't. You don't need to be killing yourself working endless hours. I collected $4 million, made $400,000 for myself while traveling the world with my boys at 21. You don't need to fake confidence or have some sleazy pressure and force people to do things that they don't want to do. I never did that. And you don't already have to be making big money. This framework, if you can master it, will allow you the ability to close more deals on demand. This is the exact 6-step framework that you should walk through on every single one of your calls. And I'm going to go through in detail on how to actually implement every single one of them. First is your intro. You want to get them to trust you fast. Second is the agenda, where you want to take control of the call. Third is the discovery, where you want to ask the right questions. Fourth is the problem, where you want to figure out what their actual pain point is, and you want to make them really feel that pain. Fifth is the pitch, where you want to show them a way out to a better life, to a higher level of themselves. And then sixth is the close, where you collect the cash and you lock in the commitment. If you can master these 6 steps, closing will feel natural for you, not forced. So let's get into the first step. The first step is the intro, where you want to get them to trust you fast. Every single prospect jumping on a call with you right now does not trust you, especially if they're a cold audience, right? If you're getting leads and calls that are coming from cold traffic or ads, they don't trust you. Here's what you need to do to get them to drop their sales resistance as fast as possible. It's very, very simple. You have to break the ice. You just met a stranger on a Google Meets call. You need 30 seconds of small talk. You don't need 5 minutes of this. You don't need 2 minutes of this. 30 seconds of asking how their day's going, where they're located, how everything's going on in their life allows you to humanize yourself and them, right? Because when you're taking 15 calls a day, it's very easy in your brain to not even think of that person as a human being. I've been there, right? Where you are on your 15th call of the day and you're like, fuck, like I'm just speaking to another robot. But you're not. You're speaking to a real human being. So having this 30 seconds of breaking the ice, getting to know them just a little bit, allows you to empathize with them a little bit more, figure out where they are, realize, oh my God, this is another human being I'm speaking to. So step one, very, very quickly, very subtle, very basic, break the ice, be a normal human, and small talk for 20 seconds. My go-to intro always is, where are you calling from today? You can always chat for 30 seconds about where someone's calling from, their town, whether you visited, whether you're not, whether you've heard good things about it, whether you've heard bad things. 30 seconds of this is all you need. Once you break the ice, you get them to trust you a little bit, you humanize yourself and them, then you want to drop the agenda. Agenda is one of the most important steps of a sales call, is because this is where you get a commitment from them that you are allowed to run this call. If you never drop an agenda, you will never get the permission from the prospect to ask the tough questions that we want to ask. Agenda is very, very simple. You want to tell them exactly how this call will go. This is my go-to agenda. Hey, Mr. Prospect, to get started, all I'm going to do is ask you a few questions just to see exactly if we can help you out. If I feel like we can, I'll show you exactly how we can do it. And if not, I'll just do my best to point you in the right direction. Does that sound fair enough? When they say, yes, that sounds fair enough, they've just given you permission to ask them questions for the rest of the call without them bitching about it, without them complaining about it, without them saying anything about it, because you just asked for permission. This really opens the door for you to ask the tough questions later on and really use psychology to your benefit. But the psychology only works if you get the permission from them that, hey, I'm going to lead the call. Is that fair enough with you? As long as you get that firm commitment from them saying, yes, that sounds fair enough, help me figure out my problems, now you have permission to be tough, to ask the tough questions, to challenge them. This gives you the permission to be brutal on calls. It's a very, very important step. Once you've laid down a great agenda, then you want to get into the discovery. You want to ask the right questions that allow you to uncover their pain and figure out, why is this person on the call with me today? The way I like to think about discovery, it's like a sales funnel, right? So the sales funnel starts with a bunch of people, then it gets to less people, then less people, then less people, then less people, and then finally you have the bottom of funnel people who are the most advanced, most well-known, most educated leads, right? It's like a sales funnel. That's the same way you want to run a discovery. You want to start by asking broad questions and slowly get more and more specific as the call goes on. So my go-to question when I start discovery is always, what made you want to book a call and speak with us? Or what has you getting into trading? Or what has you looking to make a full-time income in trading? Whatever the outcome of your offer is, that's what you want to start the question with, because it leaves an open-ended question for them to take over and tell you exactly why they're here. Because this allows you to diagnose the problem instead of just pointing it out. Because most of your prospects are going to have similar issues. It's going to be money issues. That's just kind of the way it goes. Most people want to make more money, which is totally fine. But it sounds much better coming out of their mouth than it does just you assuming that they want to make more. Just like if you go to the doctor and you break your wrist, before you even tell the doctor, hey, my wrist is broken, if they just point out, hey, I think you might have tonsillitis, you're gonna be like, no, I don't. My wrist is broken, right? And now the doctor looks like a dickhead. He doesn't understand what you actually want. Now you're thinking about switching to a better doctor, maybe a female doctor that can, look good and diagnose. Now you have all these thoughts in your brain of, hey, let me switch my doctor. But if you just show up to the doctor's office and he asks you, hey, what the fuck's wrong with you? Then you can just tell him what's wrong with you and he can help you fix it. And it's like a natural conversation. So discovery is very, very important because it allows you to not assume and diagnose the problem, which makes the prospect feel heard. More than anything, a prospect just wants to feel like you actually care about their pain. And when you ask good discovery questions that allow you to uncover the pain instead of just assuming it, it's a much more powerful frame to have because they're admitting their pain to you instead of you pointing it out. Admission is far more powerful than you pointing something out. So in your discovery, always start with broad questions on why they're here and slowly uncover more about what their problem is. I'll stick with a trading example for right now. Let's say you're selling a trading offer that teaches people how to become full-time traders. First of all, I would start the call with asking, why are you looking to get into trading full-time? I want to make more money. Let's say that's what the prospect says. No problem. I totally understand. What are you doing for money right now? Oh, I work a 9 to 5 job as an accountant. Cool, that makes sense. So what's making you want to transition to trading, being an accountant? Then it allows you to learn more about their story. It allows you to learn about their motivation. It allows you to uncover the real pain of why they want to make this transition in their life. The one most important thing to understand is that no one jumps on a sales call for no reason. It actually takes effort to book a sales call, right? You have to go through a funnel. You have to watch a VSL. You have to fill out a fucking disgustingly long type form and qualify yourself. Then you have to get calls from setters. Then you have to show up on time. Then you have to be ready with a notebook. If a prospect's taken that many steps to jump on a call in front of you, they want to buy something. They have a real problem in their life that they need solving. You just have to find it out. So start your discovery by asking broad questions and slowly funnel them down into more specific questions as they give you more details. What do you not like about accounting? What do you feel like trading will be better for you compared to accounting? How much money are you looking to make when you get into trading? You have the kind of budget set aside to be a good trader, or you're looking to get funded. This is where you can get more and more specific as they give you more and more information. That's the biggest thing in discovery. The whole point of discovery, though, is you want to find a problem. You want to find a real problem in their life. Now, problems can be two things. The problem can either be their current situation, or the problem can be that they're not at their desired outcome yet. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're speaking to a doctor who's 60 years old, who already has a bunch of money, right? But his problem is that he doesn't get to spend enough time with his family because he's in his practice all day. His problem is his current situation. He needs to change what currently is wrong with his life. Versus if you're speaking to an 18-year-old who's dropped out of school and wants to make 10K a month while traveling the world, his current situation isn't as bad. The pain for him is that he's not at his desired outcome yet, right? So pain and problems can be two things. It can be the problem with the current situation, and there can be a problem that they're not at their desired outcome yet. This is what discovery allows you to uncover. Is the problem that his current life is shit, or is the problem that he's not at his dream life? What is the problem? It can be a mixture of both, but there's predominantly one dominant motivator that motivates people to jump on these calls. And your job in discovery is to uncover that problem, and then you can move on to the next step. So the next step is problem, right? You want to make them feel the pain. So let's stick with that trading example. Let's say that guy who was an accountant who wants to become a trader, let's say his problem is that he hates his job. He's been an accountant for 20 years. He hates his job. He's getting sick of it. He's burnt out, and he saved up enough money where he feels like if he does trading, he can make money without having to report to a boss. When most closers hear that, they're like, "Oh, got enough of a problem. Let me just start pitching." I'm the complete opposite. As soon as I uncover a problem, I want to fucking make them feel that problem, right? And this is where human psychology really comes in, because the more you think about the painfulness of your problem, the more likely you are to solve it right now. This is where urgency is built, right? Urgency is not built by me telling you need to buy it right now or the deal ends. That's not urgency, that's pressure. Urgency comes from within, and it only comes from within when you really, really feel your problem. For example, I can ask questions like, what does it look like, Mr. Prospect, if you continue doing exactly what you're doing right now for another year, 2 years, 5 years? What does your life look like then? Have him describe how painful it is for him to get up every single day, report to a boss that doesn't care about him, go to a job that he has no interest in, and how he's wasting his life doing things he doesn't want to do. Make him really, really feel that pain, because I promise you, once you get your prospects to truly feel the pain of their current situation, or that they're not their desired outcome yet, when they truly feel that pain, closing becomes very easy, because now they know they have a real problem to solve. So in a problem, and in discovery of the problem, and in agitation of the problem, you want to ask questions about the cost of inaction, because that's the option they have. They have two options on the call. The option is they take some action and they try to work with you, or it's inaction where they continue doing things they don't want to do. Really, really go deep into the problem of the prospect that justifies them spending $5,000. Me wanting to learn trading doesn't justify me paying $5,000 today. But me hating my job, commuting every single day, living a life I don't care about, lying to myself, not being true to my purpose, that is a problem big enough where I would spend $5,000. Right? So it's the same fucking problem, but just the way you amplify it to your prospect, it creates urgency in them to take action now rather than later. This is such a secret sauce that most closers don't take advantage of, because it's uncomfortable to be in that pain and ask them questions that they might not want to answer, right? A prospect might not want to answer, hey, like, I don't want to talk about what the worst case scenario looks like. But that's exactly what they need to feel before they can actually take the steps to fix this. This is a super, super crucial step. You really have to make them feel the pain, really make them understand the cost of inaction, and go deep enough into their problem where it's justified for them to spend $5,000 today. Understand this: if there's no pain, there's no close. So you want to really go through a tight discovery where you uncover their problems. And then in step 4, when you have a problem, a juicy, juicy problem, you want to light gasoline on it. You want to pour salt on that wound, right? You really, really want them to feel the shittiness of their problem. Once you got the prospect to feel the shittiness of the problem, you want to pitch. Now, every single time I make the prospects earn my pitch. Here's what that means. Instead of just saying, yeah, man, it sounds like we can help you out, boom, pitch. I always make them earn the pitch. Just by doing this one subtle technique, they actually become much more likely to close, because they're admitting that they're going to do the work if you decide to give them this opportunity. So here's a very simple line I use to make them justify themselves before I pitch them. I say, you know what, Mr. Prospect, this sounds great. It definitely sounds like you're motivated enough to make a change. But let me ask you this, like, are you ready, able, and willing to show up and do the work every single day? Are you willing to jump on the live calls with your coaches? Are you willing to follow the live trades? Are you willing to go through weeks of being unprofitable, learning from your mistakes so that you can actually be profitable and make money with sales? Like, are you willing to go through that grind and that struggle before you can reach your desired outcome? If a prospect says yes to that, they've pretty much admitted that they're going to do the work. So the only objection you can possibly have is the price. because they've already believed enough that they're like, yeah, you know what? I would follow a process like this to do the work. And I honestly, if you guys can help me with the coaching, I would use it. If they say yes to that, then you have permission to pitch them. They've already qualified themselves that, hey, I can do the work. I can make this stuff happen. I'm willing to commit my time and energy to doing the work. Now they've earned the pitch. A key thing in the pitch is that you don't want to pitch them what they get. You don't want to pitch one-on-one calls, right? For example, you want to pitch what it will do for them, right? You don't want to pitch, hey, you'll have a one-on-one call with a trading expert. You want to pitch, you know how you told me that you didn't know how to take profits and put your stop losses and you were kind of just lost doing trades? Well, now you're going to have a one-on-one coach that sits down with you and shows you exactly where you should take profit on every single one of your trades, exactly what your stop loss should be, exactly what diagrams to follow, exactly what charts to look at, so you're never confused again. Does that make sense? Do you feel like that would help you out? It's so much more sexy to hear for a prospect than saying, hey, you're going to get a one-on-one call with a coach. What does that do for me? What is a one-on-one call going to do for me? You don't want to sell them a call. You want to sell them what the call is going to do for them. So here's how I structure my pitch. My pitch is structured in 3 sections. Number 1 is the explanation of the business model. Even if they've watched every pre-call sales asset, even if they've watched every single video made by the influencer, even if they know what the business model is, I always want to re-explain the business model to them just so I can be a teacher on a sales call and I can kill any misconceptions they have as well. When you hold that teaching frame on a sales call and you're actually teaching them something on a call, it gives you a much higher status in the prospect's mind because you're not just a sales guy, you're actually a coach. You're coaching them. They're learning from you. There's a lot of reciprocity, right? If the prospect's learning from you already, in their mind, they're thinking, holy fuck, if I pay this guy, I'm going to learn so much more. Explaining the business model is the simplest way to get into that psychological hack and become a teacher in their mind, even though you're not teaching them anything. You're just explaining what the business model is that you're about to pitch them. But in their mind, it unlocks a perspective to look at you as a teacher. Step number 1, explain the business model, whether that's e-commerce, Amazon FBA, trading, fitness, whatever your mechanism is, whatever your business model is, start with explaining that. Then step 2, you want to show them the steps of exactly how they're going to achieve this, right? The best thing to do is share your screen. If you have a program that has a lot of testimonials, has an active community, dude, share your screen. Show them the course materials they're going to get. Show them what the one-on-one coaching looks like inside. Show them what live calls look like. Show them what the community looks like on live, sharing screen. This sets you apart from every single other closer because most closers just talk about what the prospect's gonna get. They don't actually show them, right? If you can visually show the prospect exactly what they're gonna get before even paying you, the trust is just so much higher because now they know what they're gonna get instead of just hearing about it. So explain the business model, show them the steps of exactly how they're gonna achieve this, and the third part of this is ask for the sale. Once you explain the business model to them, once you show them exactly how it's gonna take place, the third part is just dropping the price and shutting the fuck up, which is where we get to step 6, which is close. Mr. Prospect, for everything that I mentioned, to get access to my team and I, get access to everything I mentioned for the entire 6 months, it's a one-time investment of $8,000. And then just shut the fuck up. Just shut up and look at them in the eyes. I kid you not, I've had closes where I've stared at a prospect's eyes for 4 minutes in complete silence, and at the end, him telling me, let's do it. Once you drop the price, you've done the talking. They understand what the model is, they understand what the pitch is, they understand what they're going to get, they get the price. Just let them soak this in. It's a big moment of the call where now it's real. Now it's not just talking about achieving their goals. Now it's about taking the first step to achieve their goals. Let them take the severity of the situation in. Drop the price, shut the fuck up, let them talk. Now, a lot of times here, prospects are going to be like, you know what, dude, fair enough. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. And you can just close the deal right there. Now, if there are objections, which is fine, objections are bound to come up. And honestly, a lot of times the sale begins at objection handling, right? So it's a totally normal thing to go through. And I'm going to show you exactly how to handle every fucking objection ever. Most of these sales gurus, they give you the word tracks of exactly what magical words to say. So it's like a spell on your prospect's brain, and they're just going to be brainwashed into giving you money, pulling out every single Amex, taking out mortgages against their houses, giving you all the money. It's not how it works. It's not how humans work. There's no magical word track to allow a human to believe you. What there is, though, is a framework that allows them to feel comfortable moving forward, regardless of having an objection. And this is the framework I follow. You first want to neutralize whatever objection it is. I want to talk to my wife. I want to sleep about it. It's a lot of money. Whatever the fucking objection is, neutralize it. And this is how you do it. No problem, Mr. Prospect. I totally understand, right? I understand money is an issue. If it wasn't, we probably wouldn't be on this call, right? Ha ha ha. Laugh, make jokes, make it a normal fucking situation. The last thing you want to do in objection handling is panic. When you panic, when you get rigid, when you want to push, you're losing the sale because that's not what's going to make them buy. Even though you feel like pushing them and forcing them to do something is going to make them buy, it's just not. It's not how the human brain works. What you want to do is, again, make them feel understood. Make them feel like, oh my God, this guy actually cares about me. Like he's not just pushing me. He's not just forcing me to do something. He actually understands. No problem, Mr. Prospect. I totally understand. No worries at all. Aside from speaking about it, whatever the objection is, aside from speaking to your wife about it, aside from sleeping on it, aside from thinking about it, aside from the money, whatever their objections is, just say aside from that, is there anything else holding you back? Simple question. Aside from your objection, is there anything else holding you back? They're going to say no like 99% of the times. No problem. I totally get it. So let me ask you this. This is the gain commitment steps. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to put in the time to make this work for you? Get a time commitment. They're going to say, yes, I can put the time in. Are you willing to show up on the coaching calls? Put in the effort to actually make this work for you? Yes, I am. Cool. So you're willing to put in the time and the effort to do this. Now, do you feel like with everything that I've laid out, with our system, with the one-on-one coaching, with the coaches helping you do your trades yourself, with the entire system, with all the proof that we have, do you feel like we can help you do it? Because you're basically getting three commitments. You're getting a commitment of time, you're getting a commitment of actual effort, and you're getting a commitment on you. If they say yes to all three of these things, then it's very simple because then the original objection is actually the only thing that's holding them back. But if they say, you know what, I want to think about it, and then when you ask them, hey, do you have the time to put into it? They're like, oh, sure, if I have the time to put into it, that's an objection right there. It's an unspoken objection. That's a time objection. So before you can handle any money objection, anything else, you want to make sure the time is on point, their efforts on point, and that they believe in you fully. If there's any of these three things are off, no matter what other objection you're handling, it's just not going to work, right? So first you want to neutralize, you want to isolate the objection, you want to gain commitments to make sure that is the only objection that's holding them back. And if it is, you gain commitments on, are you willing to put the time to do it? Are you willing to put the effort to do it? And are you sure that we can help you out? If you get a yes on all three of these things, then the best thing to do at that point is tell a story about yourself, because most of the times at that point, it's just a money objection, right? Someone says, hey, I need the money. I don't have the money. Or, hey, it's a lot of money. You say, no problem, Mr. Prospect. Totally understand. Money's an issue. That's probably why we're on the call today, right? Yeah, I get it, man. It's all good. So aside from the investment to working with us, like, is there anything else holding you back from starting today? No, I don't think so. I think I'm ready to start today. Awesome. So let me ask you this. Like, do you feel like you have the time to put into it, the 10, 12, 15 hours a week to show up on the calls, do the work, put the effort in? Like, do you feel like you're in a position where you can actually put that time? Yes, I can. Cool. And then if you can put that time in, do you feel like with that time, you're actually willing to put in the effort as well? Because time is one thing, right? But effort is a whole different thing. Effort's mindset. Like, are you willing to show up, learn from mistakes, fail a couple times, fall down, pick yourself back up, talk to the coaches? Like, are you willing to put in the effort to go above and beyond to see the results that you want? Yes, I am. Cool. So you're willing to put the time into it. You're willing to put the effort into it. And do you feel like with our system, with our trading platforms, with our strategies, with our AI bots, whatever it is, with our thing, do you feel like that we can help you out? Yes, I do. With everything that you showed me, I do feel like you guys can help me out. Cool. So you have the time to put into it. You're willing to put the effort into it, and you think we can help you out. It's just the finances that are kind of holding you back. Correct? Yeah, it's just the money that's holding you back. No worries at all, Mr. Prospect. I get it. Like I said, right? So let me ask you this. When it comes to the finances, is it a matter of like you don't have the finances right now to invest in this? Or is it that you have it, but you're kind of scared to let it go right now? And depending on what their answer is how you can kind of pivot the conversation. If they say that they have the money, but they're scared to invest it, it's a fear objection. And the best way to get over a fear objection is by telling a personal story of the time where you had to take a massive step outside of your comfort zone, invest a bunch of money, take a risk, and how well it played out for you. Right. And you can always relate back to when was the last time you made a major change in your life without stepping outside of your comfort zone? Never. Right. So why would this time be any different? That's how to handle the fear thing. Now, if they literally say, hey, dude, I would do this, but I literally don't have the money, that's when you have the permission to pitch payment plans. That's where you have the permission to pitch split it or pitch different financing options, Affirm, Klarna, whatever. That's where you can go in and pitch all these different financing things if they don't have the money. But if they have the money and it's just fear, no matter what financing options you give them, they're not going to buy because they're scared. You want to handle that fear objection first. And then, depending on their financial situation, you can offer them payment plans or financing or whatever else they need. But the whole point of the close is you want to diagnose calmly. You can push. I'm not saying you can't push. I'm not saying you can't be challenging. but you don't want to be needy for the sale, right? As soon as the prospect can smell the commission breath off you and smell, oh, this guy needs the sale, fuck off. You're not closing that deal. You're just not closing that deal. It's impossible because they can smell the neediness off you. They can smell the fucking hunger, the money hunger, the greed off you. You don't want the prospect to smell it. Now, you might have that scent of greed. We all do. If we're in sales, we do. But you don't want them to smell it. That's why you want to be calm. You want to be chill. You want to be zen. The biggest thing in sales is you want to be fucking emotionally unbreakable. You want to be like a rock, all right? You want to be a fucking foundation that's unmovable. And when you're a foundation that's unmovable and you can be calm and zen during objection handling, during discovery, during talking to different people, you can fucking crush it on calls. Now, quick tip, remember, 2-call closes are fine. I've had plenty of 2-call closes where I actually needed to book a tie down, jump on a second call with them, send them a Loom video in the middle just to help them learn about the offer even more. That's fine. Anyone who tells you 2-call closes should never work is fucking lying to you, and they've never sold at a high level, especially to a cold traffic audience, because inevitably you're going to have 2-call closes. It's bound to happen. But if you can master this objection handling and you can master the framework, you can severely decrease the amount of 2-call closes you have while increasing the amount of 1-call closes you have. And that's the whole point. But don't be a fucking dickhead. Don't just not book 2-call closes. Don't just not book follow-ups because you're leaving tons of money on the table. If you can get good at following up, you're going to make a ton of money. So make sure to follow this framework, but not be a dickhead. It's to book a second call, to book a tie down, to do follow-ups within reason, as long as they make sense and as long as they are justified. If they're not justified, if it's just, hey, I need 24 hours to get over my fear, that's not a justified objection. A justified objection for me to book a second call would be, I need to move the funds around. I can only give you a deposit, but I can clear the rest tomorrow. Or like, hey, I need to speak to my wife. Like, I promise if she wasn't in the picture, I would do this right now. But like, I need to speak to her. I can speak to her tonight. Is it cool if we speak later tonight? That makes sense. That makes sense. If that's like the only thing that's holding him back and you're 100% confident he's ready to pay me, he just needs to speak to his wife, he just can't move without it, that's fine. If you've tried all the techniques, if you went through the loops, if you asked for the sale plenty of times and he still won't move on without speaking to his wife, that is, you have my permission to book a tie down and close him on the second call because you can't. So push without being pushy. That's like the key. You want to be able to push and challenge and really go after your prospects without killing the deal, because it allows you to be pushy enough to make them move on the first call. But even if you can't do it, it gives you the ability to close them on that second call. And if you can have follow-up closes, which most closers can't close, you're going to make a lot of money inevitably. So those are the 6 steps of how to actually make money in sales. This is the exact framework that's allowed me to make over $400,000 in commission at 21. The most common mistakes I see closers make is rushing their discovery, taking only surface level answers, and by the time they get to dropping the price, the prospects are nowhere close to buying. It's closers pitching features, not outcomes. They're selling calls, they're selling one-on-one coaching, they're not selling what that actually leads for the prospect. Third is that they're not controlling the call. So if you're going to let millionaire business owners run you over, you're only going to be able to sell to cheap little kids who don't have that much money. If you want to sell on high level offers, you want to sell offers that are $5, $10, $15, $20,000, you have to get good at controlling the call. I've spoken to multi-millionaire business owners on calls while I was broke, and I had more control on the call with them because I mastered this framework. If you can just fix these mistakes, I guarantee you your close rate will double. Guaranteed. If you can just maximize this framework, you can avoid the common mistakes closers make. I guarantee you your close rates will double. And this is the smartest way to sell high ticket. Like the old school ways, having scripts, being so pressureful, convincing everyone, that's BS. That's pish posh, right? The new way is you want to use psychology. You want to use tonality. You want to use frameworks that make the prospects sell themselves, that makes it easy to sell, right? If you ask any top closer, hey, is your job hard? Is it hard to be a closer? Is it hard doing what you do? They're not going to say yes. All of them are going to say, no, it's fucking easy, because they've mastered human psychology. When I was taking 12 calls a day on my offer, I wasn't doing anything challenging. I was just having conversations that felt natural to me. Following a psychology-backed framework lets you have natural feeling conversations that allow you to close more deals without being a dickhead on the phones. And don't just take it from me. Here's some proof that it works. This is the exact framework that's allowed me to collect over $30,000 in single days, allowed me to be on top of every single leaderboard I've ever been on. And real clients have closed using this framework. They've gone from awkward calls to effortless authority, and it works on every single freaking niche. Don't just take it from me, but here's Colin, who did $35,600 in a single day doing this exact framework. He made $4,000 in commission in one day following this framework. Austin was able to follow this framework and get to $26,000 in his monthly income. Following this exact framework, being a sales rep for a good offer, you can make a ton of money without running your own business as long as you're good at sales. That's it. The only requirement is you are good at sales. And if you can master this framework, I guarantee you're going to be good at sales. It's not just work for me, it's work for literally countless other people. So here's what to do next. I've just given you the framework to master closing. But most people are just going to stop here. They're going to watch the video once, close it off, go and watch something else, scroll on TikTok, fry their brain, and never actually do something with this opportunity. But that's not you. If you came to this point, that's not you. You actually want to take this to the next level. So here's what I recommend you do. Click the link in the description and join my free course and community. And inside of it, what you'll get is the free course where you'll learn to apply the 6 steps of yes in your exact offer or business. You get a private community with other closers where you can do role plays, you get feedbacks from myself and my team, and you get to build other connections as well. That is also the group where I also put in real sales opportunity. Literally just today, I put in 2 opportunities for a setter for a 7K a month OTE role and a closer for a 20 to 30K a month OTE role. This is the simplest path to making 10K a month in sales. You get exclusive support from me and my team. We literally give you the job opportunities and you get a free course and community. It's like the best deal ever. This is something I should be charging literally $5,000 for, which I'm not. It's free right now. So if you want to be a part of my team and you want to actually learn from experts who've done this at a very high level and you want a more personal connection with myself and my team, click the link in the description, get access to the Discord, and get inside and start networking and start making money with sales. I hope this was helpful. Click the link in the description, join the community. I will see you inside.